Taiga ne proshchayet. The taiga doesn't forgive. That's what old hunter Savali used to tell me. The taiga boy, it's like a woman. If you respect her, she'll give you life. But if you wrong her, she'll devour you, leaving no trace behind. Back then, I was just starting out, young and hot-headed. I laughed at his words, thinking they were just old wives' tales. But then, I found out myself that not everything in this wilderness can be explained. It happened at the end of October. The first frosts had frozen the swamps, trails were covered with snow, and animals were feeding actively before winter. Perfect time for hunting. I ventured deep into the taiga, to a place rarely visited. There, beyond the old swamps, stood an abandoned cabin. My grandfather had built it, but later abandoned it, saying it was an unsettling place. The day went well. I shot a sable and found moose tracks. I planned to follow them in the morning, but then, the shadows in the forest. By nightfall, I had a fire going by the cabin. The forest was quiet, only the crackling of the fire and occasional wind howls. Suddenly, my dog, Jhuchka, growled, her fur standing on end. I listened closely. A strange sound came from the trees, like a faint moan. Not the wind, not an animal, but like a person. An unfamiliar, eerie person. I gripped my rifle and approached the forest. It was so dark, my flashlight barely pierced the gloom. I stood, listened, and then I saw it. A figure between the trees. Not an animal, a tall silhouette, like a person, but unclear, blurry, like a shadow. I stepped forward, and suddenly it got so cold, my breath turned to clouds of vapor. Jhuchka yelped and ran back to the cabin. Then, a voice, quiet, barely audible, right behind me. Leave! I froze. My heart sank. I turned, but no one was there. Just the silent forest, snowflakes falling gently. I rushed back to the cabin, bolted the door, and sat by the fire. Jhuchka trembled, clinging to me. I petted her and listened to that distant moaning sound again. Tracks that shouldn't be in the morning. I looked outside. Everything was calm, the snow untouched. But when I moved away from the cabin, I saw them. Footprints, human, barefoot. They led from the forest and stopped right at my door. I suddenly remembered my grandfather's story. About that winter when a hunter disappeared in these parts. Went out to hunt and never returned. They searched and found only his cabin. Inside, his rifle lay, the fire still smoldering, and the doors wide open. The hunter himself was never found. The taiga doesn't forgive. Savali's words echoed in my mind. I didn't linger. I quickly packed up, took the sable and my rifle, and left. And as I walked away, I saw it again, from the corner of my eye, something standing between the trees. Tall, dark, unclear. I didn't look back. Since then, I've never gone back there. The taiga doesn't forgive.